Explanation of the surah. إِذَا السَّمَاءُ انْفَطَرَتْ, when the sky is rent asunder. The verbal noun infitar means to be torn apart and to be rent asunder. It is mentioned in the Qur'an at a number of places that the sky will be rent asunder at the advent of the Day of Judgment. In Surah Infitar, the very first verse reads thus: إِذَا السَّمَاءُ انشَقَّتْ, or when the sky is rent asunder. In the 37th verse of Surah Rahman also, the word inshiqaq is used, and infitar and inshiqaq are synonymous. The next world will come into existence under a new set of physical laws, and the current world shall be totally destroyed. The exact shape and form of this destruction cannot be imagined. However, a reminder of this day is sounded so that the rich and the arrogant who are today living without any fear of this day, by relying on the strength of their castles and buildings, are cautioned and prodded. They are warned that such a great upheaval will take place on that day, that the roof of this whole world will be shattered and cavities will appear all over it, what to speak of man-made structures. This roof, which appears strong, flawless and resilient to them, will be ruptured on that day. Here we may not confuse ourselves by trying to ascertain whether this sky is a vacuum or solid matter. We should only have full belief in the fact that what is appearing as a robust and faultless roof today will be ripped apart, and fissures will appear all over it when the great upheaval takes place. وَإِذَا الْكَوَاكِبُ انْتَثَرَتْ, and when the stars are scattered. The word intithar means to be scattered and to be dispersed. Today, the stars appear to be woven in an invisible string and appear to be suspended like lamps from the roof of the heavens. However, on that day, this string will be heaved away and the stars will fall and become scattered all over. In the previous surah, it is mentioned that stars will lose their light because once the sun is destroyed, their relationship with the solar system will end. In this surah, a mention of their dispersal is made because the very roof from which they are suspended for its decoration will be no more. وَإِذَا الْبِحَارُ فُجِّرَتْ وَإِذَا الْقُبُورُ بُعْثِرَتْ, and when the seas burst forth and when the graves are opened. After I mentioned the sky and its stars, the state of two things which belong to the earth, that is, the sea and the graves, is now stated in these verses. The meaning conveyed by the word fujjirat is the same as the one conveyed by sujjirat, which occurs in the previous surah. The only difference between these words is that from the first is evident the unrestrained nature of the seas, and from the second is evident their tumultuous nature. As per the first word, the seas at the advent of the Day of Judgment will cross their current limits and spread over the crest and fall of the land. I have already explained this aspect under verse 6 of Surah Dahr. The expression ba'thar ash-shay means to scatter and to disperse something, or to tear open something, or to open something and take out whatever is in it. Only graves are mentioned in this verse because their mention and the mention of the fact that people would be exhumed from them is the most effective way to warn people. However, it is evident from other verses of the Qur'an that the earth will throw overboard all its burdens. In Surah Zilzal, the words are وَأَخْرَجَتِ الْأَرْضُ أَثْقَالَهَا, or and the earth casts out all its burdens. Surah number 99, verse 2. In Surah Inshiqaq, the words are وَإِذَا الْأَرْضُ مُدَّتْ وَأَلْقَتْ مَا فِيهَا وَتَخَلَّتْ, and when the earth is stretched out and casts out all things within her. Surah number 84, verses 3 and 4. عَلِمَتْ نَفْسٌ مَا قَدَّمَتْ وَأَخَّرَتْ, at that time every soul will come to know what it has sent forward and what it has left behind. This is a mention of the real thing that will come before each individual. The implication is that people who today are making fun of the Prophet should not vainly reckon that this situation will continue forever. They should contemplate their fate, keeping in view the great upheaval of that day that they will have to encounter. None, whether small or big, will be able to seek refuge from it. If the expression ma qaddamat wa akharat is interpreted keeping in view the arrogant which are the foremost addressees of the surah, it would mean that they will see the fate of the misdeeds they were not able to do against the Almighty and His Prophet, but fully intended to do, and will also taste the yearning of good deeds which they had ignored. In Surah Jumu'ah, it is stated about the Jews, وَلَا يَتَمَنَّوْنَهُ أَبَدًا بِمَا قَدَّمَتْ أَيْدِيهِمْ, or and they will never wish for death because of the deeds they are doing. Surah number 62, verse 7. The implication is that they are fully aware of the deeds they have sent forward and they do not have the courage to face the Almighty. Similarly, it is mentioned in a number of places in the Qur'an that on the Day of Judgment, the disbelievers will express their yearning to have done something for the hereafter. In Surah Fajr, the words are, يَقُولُ يَا لَيْتَنِي قَدَّمْتُ لِحَيَاتِي, or, he will say, would that I had done something in this world for the world to come. Surah number 89, verse 24. Similarly, in Surah Mu'minun, the words used are, حَتَّى إِذَا جَاءَ أَحَدُهُمُ الْمَوْتُ قَالَ رَبِّ ارْجِعُونَ لَعَلِّي أَعْمَلُ صَالِحًا فِي مَا تَرَكْتُ. Or, when death comes to one of them, he will say, Lord, send me back so that I may earn some virtue from the wealth I have left behind. Surah number 23, verses 99 and 100. In light of these parallel verses of the Quran, the correct connotation of the words, know what he has sent forward and what he has left behind, can be ascertained. However, some people have interpreted them to mean مَا قَدَّمَ مِنَ الْخَيْرِ وَالشَّرِّ وَمَا لَمْ يُقَدِّمْهُ, or whatever good or evil he did or could not do, and some others have interpreted it to mean مَا قَدَّمَ مِن مَالِهَا وَمَا أَخَّرَ لِلْوَارِثِينَ, or what he sent forth from his wealth to the next world and what he left behind from it for his heirs. Although these interpretations can be understood to be implied from the general connotation of the verse, I, in the light of its context and placement, would give preference to the interpretation I have made. Ya ayyuhal insanu ma gharraka bi rabbikal kareem. O man, what is it that has deceived you about your beneficent Lord? Although the address in this verse is general, however, it is actually directed at the disbelievers who have been warned in this surah. Consequently, in the forthcoming verse, they are directly addressed in the words, Kalla bal tukadhibuna bid-deen, or, certainly not, you in fact deny reward and punishment. The eloquence and expressiveness found in addressing a specific addressee by general words has been indicated in a number of places in this tafsir. The interrogative style of the verse is meant to express wonder. The Almighty does not seize them immediately on their misdeeds and continues to give them respite. It is implied that if it is the benevolence of their Lord which has led them to become fearless of the Day of Judgment, then they have gravely misconceived this benevolence. They should have actually valued this beneficence and expressed gratitude to God, and in this way made themselves entitled to further favors from Him. Instead, they became stubborn and started to make fun of His warnings and reckoned that their affluence is their birthright and that the Day of Judgment of which their Prophet is warning them is a delusion. الذي خلقك فسواك فعدلك في أي صورة ما شاء ركبك. Who made your sketch, then perfected you and gave you due proportion. He put you together in whatever shape He pleased. Here the Almighty is referred to some of His attributes which are found in the very creation of man and which bear evidence to a certain premise, and that is, the Almighty who has shown such prowess of power, creativity, thoroughness and wisdom in creating man cannot be regarded to have done something without a purpose, or that He will let man go unaccountable. On the contrary, He will certainly bring about a day in which He will call man to His presence and hold him accountable, and then will bless the obedient with eternal favors and throw the arrogant sinners into hell. If this is not so, then this would render meaningless the tremendous diligence and thoroughness He has shown in creating man, and this would also negate His power and wisdom evident in all His works. The word khalaqa means to make a sketch of something or to create something, and sawwa means to perfect something. In other words, the verse under discussion alludes to the initial as well as the final stages of the creation of man. The word adalaka refers to the fact that the Almighty has given man due proportion. The purpose of mentioning these stages is to direct our attention to God's diligence and thoroughness in creating man, as is referred to above. This diligence bears witness to the fact that man is not a toy which God has created for his temporary amusement and will dismantle it whenever He likes. The more a person is thorough in making something, the more purpose it is supposed to have, and on this very basis occupies a certain importance in this world. Human beings are not like moths which are born in the rainy season. They are a reflection of the brilliant creativity of God. Thus, it is essential that after passing through various tests, they reach the fate ordained for them, and if they do not show courage to do so, then it is essential that they be punished for this cowardice. The word adalaka refers to the balance and proportion mentioned in the verse لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ, or we have created man in the finest of morals. Surah number 95, verse 4. Man, with regard to his external appearance and spiritual abilities, occupies the exact middle position among all other creations of God. For this reason, he is worthy of being made the vicegerent of God on earth by the Almighty, and given the status of the middle community, or the Ummat-e-Wast. And if he befittingly fulfills the responsibility of this vicegerency, he will be granted the eternal kingdom of heaven. The verse, فِي أَيِّ صُورَةٍ مَا شَاءَ رَكَّبَكَ, or He put you together in whatever shape He pleased, refers to the fact that man should observe the creativity, diligence, and thoroughness of the Almighty, as a result of which each person was made in a different mold with different looks. He did not encounter the slightest of difficulty in this. It is impossible to find two people from the millions living who have the same looks and features. The implication is that the God, whose power and blessings are such, will definitely bring forth a day in which He distinguishes the righteous from the wrongdoers, and for this He will raise up mankind once again without the slightest of difficulty.